If you are from Cameroon, Nigeria, Ghana, Kenya, Uganda, Tanzania, Ethiopia, Ivory Coast, Madagascar, Mozambique, and South Africa, get a chair, come, sit down, we need to talk. I want us to figure out something here together. This is something we are missing out on greatly. And like we always say, it's never too late, all right? I want us to catch up on something. Have you ever heard of the dragon fruit? This is a video that was requested to me by a goal getter some time ago, all right? By then we had just started and I hadn't really gotten time. In fact, the truth is, I was neglecting this fruit, all right? Let me be honest with you here. I didn't pay attention to his request because to me, I was just like, what's it about the dragon fruit? Because this is a fruit that, honestly, I'll be very frank with you here. I didn't know about the existence of dragon fruit. So when this goal getter requested for me to make a video on the dragon fruit, I was just like, it didn't make sense to me, right? It didn't just appeal to me. So recently, I was watching a documentary. It's actually a vlogger, a traveler. He loves to travel. I've forgotten his name. I am going to look for his name and maybe pin his video somewhere. And the way he showed the dragon fruit and talked about it, the flavor and everything, something in me just triggered this interest in the dragon fruit, and I decided to research on this fruit. Goal getters, we are missing out on a huge opportunity. Let me begin by reminding you that most African countries, if not all, have got very fertile lands and very good climate. And you know, for the most part, we've got the tropical climate, and some do have maybe semi-tropical climates, which are favorable for a lot of fruits. Most exotic fruits can do well in Africa. I don't know, for some reason we were brainwashed to think that just a few fruits could maybe even survive in Africa. But on the contrary, most fruits can do well in Africa more than any other part of the globe. And the dragon fruit is not an exception. So goal getters, we are going to be diving deep into everything you need to know about the dragon fruit. Whether you are a seasoned farmer or a budding entrepreneur, this video will be your complete guide to understanding the global market value of the dragon fruit and how you can turn 10 hectares of land into a lucrative business there. And for those who are new to the channel, my name is Elvin Chick, and I have taken it as a personal mission to make sure that you attain your financial independence as soon as possible. You're watching Africa Today, and we are starting right now. So the dragon fruit, also known as the pitaya, is a tropical fruit that has been immense popularity worldwide. Native to Central and South America, this exotic fruit has actually made its way to the global markets. From Asia to Europe and beyond, its unique appearance, coupled up with its rich nutritional benefits, has made it a favorite among health-conscious consumers. For if you didn't know, goal getter, the dragon fruit is very high in vitamin C, low in calories, rich in antioxidants, promotes healthy skin, and supports gut health. And I want to bring it to your attention that the global market for dragon fruit has met significant growth over the past decade. And it might interest you to know that as of 2024, the dragon fruit market is valued at approximately $1.2 billion with a compound annual growth rate of 8.6%, which is enormous. If you've noticed, the compound annual growth rate of most crops is always in between 3 to 6 or so, but with the dragon fruit, we are talking of a whopping 8.6%. If you know what that means, go getter, this is definitely something you should invest your money in. The demand is practically very high in Asia, in the US, and in Europe. And this popularity is thanks to the awareness of people on its health and wellness benefits. So go-getters, this is something that if you are a smart go-getter, you would jump on the opportunity right now. And don't be limited by the fact that maybe you are in Africa or you are abroad and you want to invest in farming in Africa. There is no barrier nowadays. Do you know that there are a lot of people who actually buy tropical fruits, exotic fruits from Africa and sell them abroad? Do you know that? People do that, all right? A lot of people sell fruits in Europe that are cultivated in Africa. A lot of people sell fruits in the US that are cultivated in Africa. There is this Russian billionaire who makes a lot of money from simply collecting fruits from Ghana and sending them to his country, and he makes a lot of money from it. While we are here in Africa sitting and constantly looking for opportunities very far without noticing that the real opportunities are right here before our eyes. All that man does is value add, all right? And it's not even to a greater extent. All he does is peel the fruits, package them, and send them abroad. And who are the ones doing the peeling? The Ghanaians, all right? The man is there balling and enjoying the money. He's just got the contacts and everything. And the Ghanaians are the ones doing the peeling, doing all the work for him. And he is the one making all the money. So why can't we Africans just cultivate the habit of adding just a little bit of value to our produce? Is it normal for us to keep sitting and people living from far away to come and tap from our resources, and all we could do is be workers at their own factories? Is that the future we want for our kids? This is the time for us to take the bull by the horns and also start investing. Like I always say, I am not against foreigners investing in the motherland, but I am against the fact that we are sitting and watching them tap from all our resources. Why do we constantly think that we can't do that as well? That's a question that I leave you to ponder on as we proceed. So back to what we were saying, go-getters, with the increasing awareness and the rising popularity of superfoods, which the dragon fruit is one of them, it is crystal clear that the demand for dragon fruit will continue growing. This opens up significant opportunities for farmers and investors. Now let's jump to our 10-hectare case study, right? So as we always do on the channel, we are going to cover everything from land preparation to the planting, the maintenance, and finally the harvesting. Now, as concerns land preparation, the first thing I would want you to know is that just like the soursop fruit, the dragon fruit thrives well in well-drained soil with pH of 6 to 7. And obviously you will just need to clear your land and make sure it is rid of any debris, and also remove all the rocks available because it doesn't love any obstacle. And you go ahead to maybe sprinkle a little bit of organic matter to increase the fertility because it really loves fertile soils. Now on a 10 hectare of land, you are going to be planting about 10,000 plants with a spacing of about 3 meters between rows and 2 meters between plants. So one thing with the dragon fruit is that you are going to need something as a support, all right? Maybe, I don't know, sticks or whatever that you could maybe put straight. Is it an iron or from wood or whatever that you are going to be pinning straight, because the dragon fruit is going to be climbing on it. It is actually a climbing plant, if I could say it that way. Another thing you should take note of when it comes to the dragon fruit is irrigation. Yes. So for efficient water management, I would recommend a drip irrigation system. This is because the dragon fruit requires moderate watering, especially during the dry season. So you're going to also need a little bit of fertilization, all right? It could be maybe organic or balanced fertilizers, depending on what you could lay your hands on, all right? But I would always advise you go for the organic ones if possible. And you need to do that particularly during the growing season, all right? Not the planting season, but the growing season. That is the period where the plant is at its peak of growth. And finally, you are going to be needing a little bit of pruning, all right? Pruning helps the plant do better. I know this is something that's not easy because of the total amount of plants in your plantation, but it is a necessary step. And for this, you are going to be needing a lot of hands, right? So when the time is ripe for pruning, please do well to recruit as many people as possible to do that for you. For you can't invest such money in something and joke with your yield. The aim here is to maximize yields, therefore maximizing profit. So whatever it would take to get those plants pruned, please endeavor to do so. Let's now talk about pest and disease management. You know, here in Africa, with our tropical climates and the tropical forest as well, because you know most of our plantations will always be found in the heart of the forest. Yes, because those are things you can do in the urban areas or residential areas, right? You do that in the forest. So there is no way you could actually survive without trying to get rid of pests. So you need to control pests and disease. And that makes me think of this video that I made and that I mentioned the importance of always getting rid of pests in your farm and what you can do exactly. So if you're interested, do well to watch this video. I am going to be linking it in the comment section as well. So for that, you will need to monitor your farm regularly and at times make use of some pesticides. All right, this is something that at times we don't really have a choice. You could make use of some pesticides and maybe go for the organic ones if you could lay your hands on them. All right, because whether we like it or not, we need to get rid of those pests because they are going to destroy our crops. So if you are worried of the health of your workers, there is a way to go about it that I talked about in this video that I am going to be linking as well, that you can watch and apply it. But that's for those who've got the money, all right? If you've got the money, that will be an alternative for you. Now, the good thing we've got with the dragon fruit is that it doesn't really take long, okay? After flowering, the plant is going to be taking just about 30 to 50 days to produce the fruits that are ready for harvest. So since we are talking of a 10-hectare farm as always, you can expect to harvest about 150 to 250 tons of fruit per year. And that would depend on the variety and how well you managed your farm, right? Now, let's talk numbers. Based on the current market price that ranges from $3 to $7 per kilogram, a 10-hectare farm can generate significant income. So let's take an average of 200 tons per year. So if you sell your fruit for $3, you are going to be making something like $600,000 per year. But if you are selling it for about $7, we are talking here of $1.4 million per year. That's just the average, all right? We took the average. So imagine if you are one of those making about 250 tons per year, you could make up to 1.75 million per year. So just look at the amount of money you can make from the dragon fruit. And the best part about the dragon fruit is that the more it stays, the more the yields increase, all right? So the first year, you are going to be having lesser yields than the second year. And by the third year, you are going to be having more yields than the second year. That's how the dragon fruit functions. So if you had maybe 200 tons the first year, the following year, you could have 250 tons or 300 tons, depending on the variety and the farm management practices. But however, goal getters, it's important to take account of variables such as the changing labor cost, the market fluctuations, and some other unforeseen challenges. But everything being equal, the profit margin is still quite sustainable. So having said all this, I believe that the dragon fruit offers a promising opportunity for African farmers and investors. So I would love you to do one thing for me, go getter. If at all there's any video that you need to share to all your contacts on this channel, it should definitely be this one, because this is something that could bring a lot of money into Africa and actually help the African economy as a whole. So please share it with all your loved ones and let me know what you think in the comment section. All right, thanks for watching this video, and I'll see you in my next one.